Hi there, it's Mark from the Design Hackers Guild. Hope you're having a great day. This is Friday, the 13th of August, 2021, and I'm a couple of days late. I kind of dropped off the scene for a couple of days, got busy, and kind of got overwhelmed, to be perfectly honest, with what's going on in life. 2021 is, I feel, a worse year than 2020 in terms of this whole crises and pandemic that we're in. But nonetheless, it is Friday the 13th, and I wanted to talk to you about getting to know, like, and trust you, getting people to know, like, and trust you, which is what I'm doing when I'm putting out these videos. As terrible as they are, I try to provide as best content as I can by speaking directly to the camera and explaining from my perspective what I believe to be and what I'm passionate about. And I think that's one of the biggest key aspects of anyone who's trying to build up a rapport with their customers to get to know, like, and trust you. Now, one of the things that a lot of YouTubers, or especially people starting out in business, and I'm talking about startup YouTubers like myself, I am not a saint. I am a miserable sinner at times, pretty much all the time actually. But sorry for looking away from the camera, closing my eyes, having a quick think. In order to attract more people to you, you actually have to stand for something. And some people think that by being agreeable, that that's the way you do it. And I would say that no, that is not the case. As a matter of fact, you need to pick something as in a hill to die on. And for me, for a long time, it was creating the irresistible offer, how to make your business about your customers. Now, a lot of people kind of would agree with that. That's common sense. But what I'm doing now at the moment is creating a practical way of demonstrating how you must put your customer or your prospect at the center of what you're doing and be very, very focused on them. And from doing that, you will be successful. And that's how I'm going to be thrusting and driving that forward. I'm actually going to be doing this from a what's called a passive income point of view. I'm also stepping off into the cryptocurrency and the digital currency space. Really about cryptocurrency. Uh, Although I think there should be a better name for it. It's not crypto means secret, really, at the end of the day, and it's not Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other cryptocurrencies are no longer secrets. They are out in the mainstream media. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and that's another thing about getting people to know, like, and trust you. That if you can overcome that fear, uncertainty, and doubt about whatever you're talking about, whether it be horse riding, whether it be knitting, or whether it be cryptocurrency itself, if you can overcome the FUD, that fear, uncertainty, and doubt, especially if there's a theme of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in that industry. And you can speak clearly from your perspective, what you believe in, what you see to be true, and what you're seeing as evidence, not what you wish to be true. And sometimes you have to speak to the truth, as into that this is an unpleasant truth, but nonetheless, it is the truth. That's how you build up a trust, a like, and a rapport with your user base. So the other aspect of getting customers to or getting people to know, like, and trust you over time is actually there's two things. When you're speaking to the camera, as I'm speaking to you now, I am speaking to my persona. This is what I've done through design research, that I'm speaking to my ideal customer. And my ideal customer is someone who is interested in cryptocurrency, who wants to maybe pivot their business or pivot the way they're going, that they've hit hard times, and they're a brand new persona in terms of the cryptocurrency persona, because they're actually using it to practically create and generate an income and to generate revenue in order to pay their bills. Whereas before, a lot of people who were getting involved in cryptocurrency were just using it as a sideline and a side hustle. Now, a lot of people are still using it as a side hustle. It's not replacing fiat currency, but there are situations where people are going to this in a full-time capacity. And I'm one of those people who's kind of doing that myself. So, from a certain point of view, I'm talking to myself, but not entirely. I do have a group of customers and a group of individuals who I work with, who I have taken aspects of that characteristic, have an idea of who I'm talking to, and that's who I am addressing. And that is fundamentally important for all of your business, but especially if you're trying to get someone to know, like, and trust you, you need to actually speak to the few and not the many. So I have videos on persona creation, which I will link in this video, that tells you how to create maybe two or three personas. Usually the third persona is someone you have to do operational stuff with. So if you're a business, say for instance, you got to talk to the accountant, got to talk to the tax man. You should have a persona for them, and so that you can facilitate them and spend less time focusing on them. And what personas actually help you do is to build your business around who you're serving. But it also helps you in the continuous business side of things to take your hands off. Personas also give you the freedom, like I have the freedom now, to speak to the camera as if it's the person that I have created as the persona. I'm speaking directly to them now, and they are listening to me. And that's because I fully understand what they're saying to me, what their needs and aspects are, their desires, their dreams, what's challenging them, etc. I can speak to that, and I can speak to the person, and having listened to them, I can then speak to them and speak to how they can solve their problems. That's the whole idea of getting people to know, like, and trust you. And the other thing is that by being having set yourself in those parameters, you actually have the freedom to be authentic and the freedom to be direct with your prospect. You also have the freedom to take principled stands, because you are going to be taking that principled stand based on what the persona you've selected, based on the people that you are focusing on talking to. You will be able to take a stand that they will be united with you in taking. So, for instance, people who in the throes of this pandemic and are turning to cryptocurrency as a way of protecting themselves from inflation, hedge against inflation, and also as an alternative income stream, because others have dried off, because businesses have been closed or there are restrictions and so forth. This is this is something I can take a stand on, something I can take a principled stand on in supporting those people and speaking to that. And because I speak in that way, those people who I'm focusing on will be relatively in agreement, or if they're in disagreement, they may come and comment and say they disagree, but I'm still targeting those people, and I still have the capability of nuancing that persona. Now, the reason also I wanted to build in the know, like, and trust is because one thing I am lacking in is the consistency element of it. I haven't been posting consistently enough. I like to post once a day. It's not always easy to do, but sometimes you have to overcome that. Sometimes you have to be uncertain as to, oh, well, should I be even doing this? But if you have the persona behind it, if you know who you're talking to, and you're taking that principled stand that you know that you're is in line with who you're talking to, you should be able to stand on those fundamentals, be authentic around that, and keep putting forward the message. The other aspect of know, liking, and trusting is something that nobody else is going to like who's trying to build that know, like, and trust like myself. And that is having a consistent message and repeating it over and over again, because you're going to be doing this in different platforms, and it's going to be a running theme. Now, the point of this is, again, this has to be based on who you're talking to, your ideal persona. And as I said, I'll have a link at the end of this video to training on persona creation. Um, it's important that you keep talking to, um, I've lost my own train of thought there, but you keep talking to that person. Um, and over time, you're going to be reiterating the same message. Now, people who follow you may be saying, "Oh, he's saying this again. He's saying this again." But if it's right on message, if it's right on cue with the persona, then that message is going to resonate. Now, there may be a situation whereby you take that role, and you've actually solved the problem for that persona, and that may be where your persona advances, and then you may have to do research on, okay, now I've solved that problem for my persona. What other problems arise from that problem being resolved? That's a whole nother aspect of research, and it's a whole nother opportunity for business. And it's also a great way of measuring how effective your persona is, because over time your customers are going to evolve. So are you. And that's another aspect of getting people to know, like, and trust you, is that you show them that you are evolving over time. I think I've done that. If you look at my Facebook videos from early on, if you look at my YouTube videos from early on, okay, the quality of the camera is not great. That's going to improve over time. Um, but my presentation has certainly improved, and that's from practice. And it's also trying to be consistent and having that drive to facilitate and, keep my audience happy, which is the persona that I based it on. So fundamentally, to be to get people to know, like, and trust you, there's plenty of videos out there about know, like, and trust, but one of the consistent elements that I focus on is to have that persona built out, understand who you're talking to, but also taking a principled stand, being structured within the confines of what the customer or the persona is, having understanding where the customer is coming from or your persona is coming from, taking that stand or that principled stand in support of them, speaking to what their problem is, and not just from the, "Hi, I'm going to solve your problem," but actually speaking about the problem, maybe even prolonging the pain, or maybe giving a better understanding of the pain, or maybe building out how the solution of that problem based on those pain points. I hope this has been helpful, and um, it's kind of I just kind of did a mind flow of it. I felt a little bit guilty, I can say, because I haven't posted since the 9th. As I said, I have been busy, under pressure, and overwhelmed. And again, this is me being authentic to you, and showing a human side. I am not perfect. I am a miserable sinner. And I use that moniker kind of to remind myself that it's not to persecute myself. As a matter of fact, it's to help me continually improve myself. And that's an aspect that you should, I think, if you want people to know, like, and trust you, especially if you're kind of in my moniker. I cannot stand people who are perfect or pretend to be perfect, because no one on this planet is perfect. They're perfect by being imperfect, and their perfection is built out through an authentic development. And sometimes you fall down, sometimes you fall back. But if you're working towards that authentic development, that's another aspect of where people are going to want to know you, want to like you, and will build trust with you. And that's really, really important for your business, or pretty much your relationships in life itself. But from a business perspective, that's how you build up and know, like, and trust, a genuine, authentic know, like, and trust. I hope that's helpful. Hope you're doing well. It is Friday the 13th, which I consider to be a lucky, lucky day, and I think it is a lucky day for myself. I have today I've gone over the numbers and of a little project that I've been doing, and I've essentially 10x'd some, well, of more than 10x the revenue, but in terms of what I'm going to be able to take back from into the business to reinvest is 10x what's been coming out. So this is a good day. It's good revelation. This 10x will be coming out over time. You know yourself, if you're building a business, you tend to pay everybody else bar yourself, but at least I'm in a position now to put stuff back into my business to grow it. And I'll be doing other videos over time to kind of discuss aspects of that on how you should be doing that and how to have a different mindset in term, well, from my point of view of the business. I also want to say that like my own internet business, I'm still continuing. But I've decided that I may have come across as someone who's coaching you. I don't have a desire to be a coach. I certainly don't have a desire to be a coach anymore. More what I want to do is change the way I'm doing videos in terms of documenting or vlogging and blogging and social mediaing my journey into changing my mindset. And one of the things that I've done, even though this thing on my shoulders has taught me how to do what I should be doing, I'm now only as an entrepreneur figuring out that I haven't been doing that at all. I've been trying to sell stuff, sell a thing, rather than understand that I'm building an asset that provides value, which is my business. And I'm going to do more videos on that in coming weeks and months. But until then, I hope you got some value out of this video. Please let me know what you think of it. I hate telling people to like the video. You'll either like it or you won't, but like or dislike it, do what you want. And I do appreciate the feedback, and especially if you disagree with me, I definitely want to hear about that. Comment as you see fit. Forward to hearing from you, and if I don't, that's no problem at all. Thanks for watching, and see you in the fold.